Saturday the 2nd of July, and we're still here in Town Hall Square for the fantastic Circus skill workshop that's going on. Lots of activity, lots of people about, enjoying the weather, big book buffs, and we're here with Paul Gobey. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Always enjoy a start of the summer.
Now, it's been a while since we've caught up with you, Paul. You're a stalwart of the Citizen's Eye YouTube channel, haven't you?
I've enjoyed lots in the past. Yeah.
There must be about 10 interviews with you about these things, at least 3 of the last summer reading challenges. And this year's one's called Circus Star, so tell us a little bit about it and how it's going.
Yeah, it's great. Each year we have a new theme, a new topic. We don't get to choose it. And this is quite a funny one, really. It's picked by the reading agency. And I must admit, when they picked Circus Stars, I was a bit, because Circus can be seen a bit dated, a bit young. So we had a little think about it, and we said, right, let's make it about fun, about performance, putting on a show, humour, clowning around, magic shows. And that's what we're doing now. And it's really made a difference. It's given a lot of appeal to it, because it's about enjoying books and stories and libraries all through the summer.
Now, you've got the great guys from Genie Productions, who we've followed a few times as well during all the various library events, and they were saying they've got quite a few library events they're doing this summer as part of it. Do you think it's a good way of getting kids engaged in sort of reading and stuff? Because then this is a lot of activity, there's a lot of movement here, a lot of running about, and then it's kind of joining it together.
But people think libraries are very sort of quiet, passive stuff. People still think that. People who go into the libraries and get a feel about some of our activities know that's not the case. But most people don't think that's what it's about. So when you choose something that's active and exciting and involving, which is exactly what Circus Stars is all about, then we can say, right, you're enjoying yourselves here. There's some great books you can enjoy as well. You can have information books, how you get your skills up and do a bit of magic, but then you can follow yourself through onto the 6-book challenge, and away you go. And then we're putting some real extra excitement into the libraries.
Now, you've got quite a few authors and illustrators involved this summer and stuff. Give us a few of the highlights for you that are going to be quite good.
Well, Pete Johnson is the one for me. I've known him over a number of years. He's been coming to Leicester, and he came down when we did Boys into Books at the Walker Stadium about 3 years ago. He writes some great books, very accessible, great for boys, adventure, horror ones, but he's also had a great sense of humour, and he's an author who just really has a wide appeal. Another great one is Guy Bass, who actually was at our event yesterday at Our Best Book. Again, someone who openly admits he hated reading when he was younger. What he liked was superheroes and comic books. And now he's writing books, he said, that he'd like to read when he would like to have read when he had been 8, 9, 10, whenever, when he wasn't reading. And he always has monsters and themes and aliens in. And he's created these top trumps based on circus monsters, and he's going to be introducing those to kids in Leicester, which is fantastic.
Again, it's doing whatever it takes, really, I think, and that's why, you know, fitting in nicely with whatever it takes and everybody's reading and all those kind of things that gets young people involved. I mean, I certainly, as a freelance journalist, you talk to a lot of head teachers and they want to do sports journalism or things like that around sport to engage boys in reading. I know certainly my eldest son, he hates reading, but anything technical, he's into it. And then when you look at books like Joshua Mole, with all of the sort of the drawings in it and all that kind of stuff, and then Dorling and Kingsley, all these kind of things, it's doing whatever it takes, really, isn't it, to get them to realise books are fantastic.
Well, the whole Whatever It Takes campaign is fantastic. It really has energised people. It took a little while to get going, but you now see there's real momentum in the schools. And trying out new things. It really is about identifying really good practice, things that really will excite the reluctant readers. And we had the scheme where we were giving actually 6 books to kids over the summer holidays directly into their home, which we linked up with the libraries and Whatever It Takes. Great scheme. We bought an author that infused them. You've got to try all sorts of different strategies. Some work for some people, then you've got to think, well, how do we move it on from there? And I'm so proud that libraries can be part of that.
Okay, now, this is the launch of the Summer Reading Challenge. Yep. Now, you confessed to me earlier that, a bit like myself, you're 28, and this is your 30th Summer Reading Challenge. So you actually started 2 years before you were born. That's amazing.
I know, it really is.
So how have you seen from the first Summer Reading Challenge to the sort of the technicality of this one there? How has it changed over the 30 years?
Well, at heart, it really hasn't changed. Well, in the early days, it's really funny. You could be more, simpler times, really. It was something called the Reading Tree, and it really was. I was at Belgrave Library. We used to get some kind of glorified branch off the park, stick it in a bucket, and the kids would come down, write their name, write the book they read, and that was it, stuck on the tree. It did the trick in
kids don't know they're born these days, do they?
But I'm afraid I don't think it would work now. No, we need to add a bit more excitement around it. But at the same time, all we were doing storytelling. I was still on the park going out on the book bus, and that element has really changed, which is why I like this time so much, because I have to manage stuff now and there's lots of things to do at bigger sort of wide city-line levels. But what I really like is being on the book bus telling stories, and that's what it's really about. That sharing, that enjoyment, and that's what we want to communicate this summer.
Now, obviously, with the refurb library over my right shoulder here on on Bishop Street, the children's section upstairs, and we took some of the youngsters up there a couple of weeks ago when we used the annex, and they really liked it, and I think they want to get a little library group going as well and stuff like that. It's about educating people that it's moved, that it's there, and to come and use it and get involved, isn't it?
I think it's more accessible now. Obviously, it's moved further over to this side of town, which is where things happen. It links into things immediately on the square, and it feels new, it feels fresher, and it's almost like there's opportunities to start again. There's a good space there. What it needs is individuals, the groups we're talking about, starting to make that extra excitement, extra engagement around it. So, you know, people have queried about the size of it. There's plenty of space in there, which we can do. When we clear space out, it's the activity you bring to the place. And I think in some ways it's almost like a new start for the Central Library, which for a long time was a bit sort of left on its own. All the big action was happening in the community libraries. And what we've done is taken some of that really good, exciting practice, particularly for young people, and bring it into the Central Library as well, so we can showcase the whole city.
Brilliant. Paul, enjoy your 30th Summer Reading Challenge.
Thanks very much.